Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be installing tow hooks on my 2020 Ram 1500. I'll have a link to the package that I bought off eBay. Here's essentially everything that came in it. You got the tow hooks, you got the bushings, the washers, the bolts, and then the tools that I'm going to be using. You got an adjustable wrench, hammer, a little pry bar to remove the paneling, and a 10mm, 8mm socket, an 18mm socket with an impact, and then I just have my ratchet here. Mine also came with instructions on how to do it. If yours didn't come with any instructions, I'm gonna slowly go through this real quick, and you can pause it at any time. It goes from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, so it goes in that way. So let me do this real quick, so that way you guys can kind of visually see exactly what to do. And again, feel free to pause this at any time if you need to. We'll start with the left side splash guard removal, and it requires you to remove 5 8mm bolts. So one here, and then I have one missing. So for you, you're gonna have all 5 probably. You want to make sure these are tight all the time. As you can see, you can have one come out on you. And then the other 2 are right here. And a battery ratchet in this case works wonders. Alright, this splash guard should just come right off. There we go. Remember to contain all of your bolts in a magnetic tray. As you can see, there's different thread patterns. This is a machine thread. These 2 go inside of the frame, while these ones will bolt on directly, kind of like to your bumper. So the next step requires us to go under and remove 2 10mm bolts that are up here up from the inside. All right. That is definitely going to be a hard reach. So what I'm doing now is removing the 2 nuts off of this block plate, and I had my front bumper repainted by a body shop. If you notice, there's a nut right here. I'll zoom in, but here there's no bolt or nut, so that's unfortunate that the body shop did not reinstall a bolt and nut. But this was a long time ago, so I can't really go back. You gotta be kidding me. It was laying on my bumper. Just to repeat, it's a 8mm. I used an offset wrench to kind of go under like this and loosen up the nuts. You don't have to remove them all the way. You just need enough clearance to where the studs will slide right off. So now let's go ahead and pry these blocking plates off. Get a little plastic pry tool, and see that tab right there? We need that down all the way, as much as we can, in order to gently, trying to be cautious here, there we go, to gently remove this blocking plate. Now we grab the plates that came with the kit. See these holes here? They're going to line up inside of these holes. So there's kind of no way of mixing up which one goes where. You'll instantly know which one, fits where. One thing I have noticed is with any aftermarket plastics, they're never snug like OEM. So these ones don't even really click in. Is what I've noticed. So we're gonna have to go under and secure them tightly with the studs and the nut. A very tedious task here. Since the fitment is not snug, you have to loosen the nut. Oh boy. You have to loosen the nut quite a ways in order for the stud to fit. Also make sure that your studs are pushed all the way back and seated properly, and then tighten up those nuts. This next part requires a lot of patience. Sorry about the angle, but I think it's a little bit better for you to see it at that angle. We need to remove this bolt right here, and it requires us to kind of bend this plate back. I actually think we should remove it, because I don't know if I can get my impact on there or not. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna have to remove this plate here. I got my 3-inch Wobble Plus. Should do the trick. There's one. There's two. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of a difference. Just by kind of taking out those 2 screws and dropping the plate. All right, so let's see. This bolt's like 9.5 inches long. So I'm using an M8, M12 impact with an 8mm socket. Let's go ahead and remove it. Okay, so this is where adjustable wrench and a hammer will come into play. We're just gonna have to hammer it down, hammer it out. Oh, there it goes. Oh, come on. A little more. Yay. There we go. We're going to install the tow hooks now, but before we do that, we need to install the rubber bushing, the washer. We'll grab the washer and this M14 bolt, which is a 18mm socket for the top, if you're wondering. So these are going to go inside of your pocket. We don't need to worry about that right now. What we do need to install is the bushing. Now, as far as which tow hook is for what, this tow hook here is for the left side. Mine is labeled B. And this one is labeled A, which makes no sense at all. However, this one is for the left side if you're looking directly towards the front of your truck, okay? But it's not going to be installed like this. It's going to be installed like that. So what will happen is, see the rubber bushing has the larger diameter opening on the top rather than the bottom, or you could say thick side and thinner side. Well, the bigger opening, when you have this flipped like this, will be installed like that. So this whole bushing has kind of a cutout, so it makes it easier to slide and install right there. And then just open up, line everything up together. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at the end it'll look something like this. I'm gonna feed this hook straight through the opening, kind of let it rest and climb under, but remember to have your 18mm socket ready. We're going to climb under and line up the hook with that hole, fit it snug across that bushing. Before you install that bolt, you need to install that washer. And again, it should be already pre-threaded. Now we don't want to tighten this bolt up all the way either. We want to kind of keep it loose for now. Grab that long bolt, which I don't have because I didn't prep everything well. Sorry, that's just reality. And what else I'm not going to do is replace that little washer that got ruined. I'm just going to keep it on there because I don't have access to one right now. But this should thread by hand back in there with no issues. And you can also go ahead and tighten it up once you got it threaded a far ways. And I'll have to get a ratchet. So I got a 1/2-inch ratchet. We're just going to tighten up that 18mm nut and kind of make sure that the washer is in line when you fully get kind of like that touch between the bolt, the washer, and the tow hook. I'm just kind of using my finger as a placeholder for the washer right on that opening. Here's a closer look at what I was doing here. As you can see, that washer kind of spun on me a bit, so you have to kind of keep it in place so that way it doesn't fall off because of that opening. But other than that, I don't have any torque specs for you guys, so just make sure when you do the long bolt that you don't over tighten it because of that bushing. Here's what it looks like from the front. So pretty nice. Nice tow hook. And I wish it was a little bit straighter, but it is what it is. Nice and secure, no wobble, no nothing. We'll go on the underside. As you can see, it goes straight up and over the bracket right there. 2 screw bolts, 10mm heads, and you need a 10mm with an extension if you're going to use a battery ratchet. And remember, the machine screws go on the frame. So there you go. We did one side. The other side is completely the same, so just rewatch this video. You have one more tow hook, one more bushing left. There's no way of messing up the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and do it off camera, and I'll show you the final result. And there you go. There's the final result. What they look like. Both sides installed. And they're kind of tilted. I don't know if that's the way they're supposed to be, especially this one. But whatever. They're gonna serve their purpose. One more thing I had to mention. Let me climb under here. This part is a little bit more trickier because of this motor here. Remember how we have to remove the bolts to get this little deflector shield off? Well, this bolt, you're gonna have to use a ratcheting wrench on. Or if you want to do like me, I just removed one bolt and bent this back as far away as possible in order to reach that long bolt. So I hope this video helped you install tow hooks on your 2020 Ram 1500 5th gen. And if it did, smash that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions at all about installing tow hooks on your 5th gen Ram. Thank you again so much. Take care. God bless you. And we'll see you in the next one.